All right, it seems like we've got a shy group joining us tonight.
Sorry, hi, yes I am.
No problem. So I've got a question for you. So I want to know what must be included into an ECD planner. So what would you include in your ECD planner, your weekly planner?
Okay, well, I'm not a actively practicing teacher, but I would think you'd need a routine, a structured routine. So in order for the teacher and the students to follow. So obviously you need a timetable. You've got your different activities at your different times. So let's say 6 or 8 o'clock in the morning. Let's say 6 or 7 is breakfast. 8 o'clock you start teaching your uh, desired subjects for the day, and then you make sure that all your resources and tools are collected beforehand. You let the parents know, and then 10 o'clock is break, 12 o'clock, etc. That's what I would think. I don't know.
No, no, that's you're on the right track. That's perfect. So first of all, we will be looking at your theme, your numeracy, your literacy, your life skills, and then basically all of the development areas. So that will include then your short stories, any language activities, counting for for math. We will count. We can do problem solving. There's a lot to do. There's honestly a lot to do. So well done on answering that.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. So if we look at the first one, your planner needs to provide structure and consistency to ensure the learning environment. And then if we look at the second one, you will need to be proactive. You need to have a proactive classroom. So a proactive classroom will help you to manage behavioral issues as well. So it will reduce any noise, any unwanted behaviors, and any extra stimulation that you can place on a child. So that's also very, very important. And then international mapping of play-based activities to develop the outcome. And then lastly, ensure the curriculum requirements and holistic development goals are met as are met. So basically it just means that you need to have a weekly planner that is working for you. All right. So sometimes as teachers, we tend to overcomplicate a planner. We want it to be too perfect. But remember, a planner can't be that perfect because you do get a rainy day. So you need a backup plan. If it's, for example, outside play today, we are doing like physical development outside, we're doing an obstacle course, and now out of the blue, it's raining. We need a backup plan. So you won't be able to say I only plan for 5 days because it's from Monday to Friday. You plan for 6 days for in case you've got a problem coming up, or your resources are still wet, or it's raining, or the play-doh is dry. So there's always a problem that can happen. So that's why we usually say, please plan for 6 days and not for 5 days. So if we look at this is the three pillars of teaching. So it's the value of a weekly planner. When you are writing a weekly planner, you can always add these points to help the child to benefit. So the child, we're looking at the first one, the first pillar here, the child. Promote confidence, independency through routine, reduce anxiety because the child knows what to do, support school readiness skill. That is a very important skill for going to grade one is the school readiness skills. And then for the teacher, it's the second pillar. The teacher saves time by planning ahead. It provides the lessons is organized. With a proper planner, you will manage the classroom. And then for the parent, that's the last pillar, to keep the parents informed about the themes and learning activities. They can help the children at home. This way, the child benefits because they can learn from school and from home. So everyone is basically on the same level. So we are all thinking about the child's needs and the child's interests, because you've got one child that's a very good and very fast learner. Then you've got a second child that is a bit slower, struggling to understand. So how do you cater for both of them? So the question that I've got is, how do you cater for both of those learners? So you've got one strong learner and one weak learner. Let's quickly call out a name. Let's see. Noma. I'm not sure if I pronounced it right. Noma. Noma, are you with us? It seems like we've got a very quiet group going on tonight. Dionai, are you with us? Yeah, no, I think we've got a very shy group tonight. So let's skip the questions. So basically, let's answer the question in a bit then. So let's just go to the next slide. So looking at this slide, you will see you have what? So a good weekly planner should include and it should have like a reflection section where the teacher can record what happened through the week. So what worked well? What are the children learning? What do we need to fix regarding the lessons, the timing, the speed, the pace? Um, do I need to sort anything? Did they understand the themes? So what should I fix? Then we look at the second one. The second one is how. How will they learn? How do I make it fun? How do I let them experience it? How do we learn them to go through challenges? How do I keep it play based? So how? So that also needs to have a section on your weekly planner to say at the end of the week, how do we fix this? How do we make it more play based? And then we're looking at the third one is assessment. How would I observe the learner? This will help you to assist and adapt your lesson plan. So assessment is not just for reports. Today I wrote 1 to 10 on the board. I'm asking 5 kids in the class. It is random numbers from 1 to 10 spread all over the green board. And then I said, Letabo, please come and read number 1 to number 10, or come and read the numbers for me. So you will start from left to right. He's reading the numbers. But then I call the second child and I say, okay, come Sophia, please read, or please look at where, point to number 2. Then she will be pointing at number 3, for example. Then you make a short note. So you always need to keep a book with you to make a short note by saying, Sophia struggled with number recognition. So at the end of the week, how can we help Sophia? Because now we observed Sophia and now we can ask how. How can we help her? Because now out of the 5 kids, 4 of them can do it, but one is struggling. So how do we help her? So that's what's very important, to connect all 4 of these aspects into one. And then lastly, we are looking at resources. What resources will be needed? Identify your materials beforehand. Remember, a weekly planner needs to be organized, it needs to have a purpose, and it needs to teach a child a whole child. So it does not just need education. You need to teach the whole child. So because we've got a quiet group tonight, I'll just read the question and then also answer the question. So I want you to think, what do you think is the purpose of building a puzzle? So out of a teacher's point of view, there is a lot of teachers that will say a puzzle is a waste of time. So this is just one example that I'm trying to give through tonight, so that you can see it's not just building a puzzle or we are playing for the fun of it. So by building a puzzle, we are first of all we are developing the cognitive skills. We are developing the problem solving skills. We improve concentration and focus. We enhance memory, build patience. We develop fine motor skills. We encourage spatial awareness, promote teamwork and social interventions. Provide we provide them with encouragement that will also help with confidence, and then we will also help them with hand and eye coordination. And you will just think that it's playing. So that's why we say that play-based education is very important, because you are not just letting that child play or having fun, you are teaching that child a set of skills. So it can be anything from social to a mentally skill. Holistic
Sorry,
build.
sorry,
Yes.
Leanne. I see that the group is actually now have one comment. Emilia actually, at the same time that you spoke about the hand-eye coordination, she actually also commented on that. Exactly
Okay.
what you said.
Okay. Well done. So holistic learning, it means that we are teaching the whole child, not just parts of education. So if we look at language, um, your language got multiple things that you can do with a child. We've actually got a drive that helps you with activities. I'll see if I can pull up one of the photos now and just show you. On the drive, I added a small video explaining how you can use pictures for language. So that's basically identifying objects. So you can read the story, you can have discussions with them, you can do rhymes, you can listen, they can speak, and they can express their feelings. Then, if we're looking at the second one, it's math. So your math is also something big. There's also a few things on the drive regarding math, but it's number recognition, it's understanding quantities, it is sorting patterns, it's um, measuring, it's comparing, it's problem solving, um, it's opposites. There is a lot of things that you can teach them in math as well. But remember to keep it age based. So you can't be teaching a child that is 4 a curriculum of a grade R. So keep it to the age, keep it to the age group. So you can start teaching them number 1 to number 5 if they are between the age of 5, between the age of 3 going to 4. You can teach them numbers. I've got a group that I worked with a couple of years ago. They were actually all 3 turning 4, and they were able to count to 10 and recognize the numbers to 10, because the teacher used to like, I just call it roll. So the teacher used to write it on the board over and over and over, but kept on changing the positions of the numbers. And they could count objects up until 5. They could recognize 5 objects without counting. So it just depends on the effort that you put in. So the effort that you put into the child is the effort that you will get. So then we're looking at the third one. It's life skills. Life skills, it's not just things. Yes, you teach a theme, you set a theme for the week, and you teach the theme. But it also teach them hygiene, emotional support, emotions, safety, confidence, social skills. Christine, I see that you put up your hand.
Shame. I don't mean to interrupt. Thanks for that. I appreciate this point very much on life skills because when I had the privilege of teaching at a little preschool for a short time, I had the idea to share with the children on the robots, the colors of the robots. So red means stop, green means go, and then yellow means slow down. So the one child shared with his aunts, so it's just nice for them to take home something simple, but it will help them, when they're driving in the car, and if mom and dad are driving too fast, they can just remind them, oh, remember, yellow means slow down or whatever. So it's encouraging that life skills is, of course, included. Yeah, please carry on.
No, no, no problem. Thank you for sharing that with us. I think there's a lot of misconception about themes, especially when it comes to preschools. I've also picked it up because I worked for a preschool before facilitating classes. And the one day I was doing transport as a theme. And I said, I'm not doing it in 1 week. I'm running my theme over 4 weeks. So I did 1 week was just cars and everything like road transport and everything about road transport. We did air transport, rail transport, and water transport. And the principal was so furious because I said to her, I'm going to do it over 4 weeks because that child's brain can't put everything in 1 week together to say this is a ship, this is a car, this is a bus. For them, it happens so fast that they don't have time to take it in. So when you do a longer theme like this, and you are allowed to extend it, I'll rather say, you know what, extend it then. You don't even need to do it for 4 weeks. It depends on the age. You can maybe do it for 2 weeks, just to help them. Because, for example, like you said now with the colors, I gave them like circles on popsicle sticks, and they needed to show their friends when to run, when to stop, when to slow down. So that's also a very, very good thing for them to know them. If it's red, mommy must stop. If it's yellow, mommy must slow down. If it's green, mommy can go. So yeah, but thank you for sharing that. That's actually very, very, very good. So if we look at the physical development, this is not just running. This includes the full body. This is running, balancing, kicking. Um, it's got quite a big thing. It's all of your gross motor skills. So yeah,
Sorry, Leanne.
no problem.
Amelia commented, I can't do that working with special needs and they get bored quickly.
Right, so special needs, it's quite a different field from the normal ECD, like the ECD setup. So I do get you, Amelia. We've got a special needs center in Germiston. So when I usually go and visit them, and then I see them as well, and they teach the kids so nicely. Like for example, one day they will use one color red, and they will paint a bit. They will play with red play-doh. They will play with a red ball. So I do understand what you mean with that. So thank you for also sharing that with us. Right, and then we've got fine motor skills. So fine motor skills is cutting, threading, drawing, and I think in the media case as well, fine motor skills would be a very difficult thing to do in the classroom. Um, especially when you've got children with like physical disabilities, with like hand problems, if it's the legs, if it's the back. So yeah, so this is just to explain to you what is all of the different levels and criteria that you can teach on. So if obviously if you can't use it in your classroom, you can make a plan to maybe work something else. Is there a message for me, Shanae?
Yes, sorry. Amelia also commented, we take kids out to do the week themes like farm. We go to the farm and they work and touch self.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so the next one we're looking at is creative arts. So creative arts is painting, it's music, and it's drama, but it does not stop there. This is where self-expression comes in. This is a thing that we need to keep our eyes on, is self-expression, because that child will express through art that there's problems at home, that he is maybe not feeling well, maybe it's a case where he didn't eat, let's say for the day. If the school, let's say now, for example, he came late, so he didn't have breakfast at home, but we are doing an art activity now. He didn't have breakfast at home and he didn't have breakfast at school. Then by his art, he can express to you that he is not feeling well, he's feeling hungry. Now that I'm mentioning this, I know there was a case a couple of years ago in one of the preschools that I worked for. It was farm animal week, so we were busy with sheep, and one of the farmers that we know, he bought a little lamb from his farm for the kids to touch. And as they're touching it, they went up two by two, and one of the teachers called out the boy, and and she said to him, "Go up and touch the sheep." And he looked at her and he said to her, "If I touch it, I'll kill it." So we needed to investigate why that child is saying that. At the end, it came back that the mother and the father was getting divorced, and he's like very upset because of that. Because now he's living 1 week with his mother, 1 week with his father. That's why we say that the things that you need to look at is the small things, pre-play. Maybe with the art activities, even with language. Over the weekend, when you ask them, uh, what did you do over the weekend? Like they come with news, weekend news, and they express themselves what happened over the weekend. And I think as teachers, we are not just teachers. We are teachers, we are doctors, we are mothers, we are fathers, we are caregivers. We are just more than teachers, because when that child is there, it's that child is not just there for you to teach. You are there to support that child emotionally. If that child falls, you are his doctor, you are looking at the knee. Um, so yeah, so that's why I said it's very important for us to look at self-expression in art as well.
Sorry, Leanne. Queen also left a comment here.
Yes.
So she basically said arts expresses emotions and it helps a lot with a lot in observation.
True, that is so true, Queen. The second last one we're looking at is social development. So social development happens over all of these blocks that we just mentioned now. It's not just sharing and teamwork. Social development is interacting with the child talks back to you, the child talks to his friends, it's counting in numeracy, even with the physical development. It helps them to work together in a team. It gives them confidence to be social. And then the last one we're looking at is the cognitive development. That is your problem solving area. That is your memory games. That is where you need to solve, they need to solve a problem. So there you can basically do anything regarding thinking. So anything of thinking we can put in the last block here. Do we have any questions? Okay. So this is just basically a layout of a classroom or a school. So just want you to look at it. I'm not really going to go into this because everyone's got their own setup and their own preferred method in their class. But as long as the class is clean, it's structured, and everything is on eye level, especially when it comes to posters. I see it a lot in ECD centers where they put up the posters so high, I can't even see what's happening there. So most of the posters needs to be eye level for the child to see. So that's my 2 cents on the slides. All right. So this is one of my favorites. It's basically just a day schedule and it shows the energy levels. So when the child comes to school, it's usually between 6:30, 7:30, 8 o'clock. Then they come with a mid energy. So that means they woke up, they maybe played a bit, mommy got them ready for school, they drove to school, mommy dropped them off. So it's arrival, it's free play, it's breakfast. Then usually between 8 and 8:40. I know you've got your own times. This is just an idea of how to plan. So between 8 and 8:40, it's usually circle time, or it's theme discussion. So with me, I prefer the theme discussion to be with language. Uh, for the reason it falls for me, it falls under language because you are interacting with a child and the child's using language. So usually after circle time, you will then directly start with literacy. So your literacy will then be your theme discussions, it would be your story time, it can be anything, it can be anything of the literacy category. Then some schools usually have, if they've got usually like a snack time between 9 and 10, or 9 and 9:20, depends, like I said, on the time, and then outside play. So outside play is usually when they've got the most energy because they go outside and they get all of these stimulations and it's just like wow, so it activates like that energy levels, so those energy levels spike through the roof. Then they come back, then I've got mid energy. So they're still focused enough to do numeracy. So between 10 and 10:30, it's numeracy. And then with numeracy, you can do your planning that you've got. And then between 10:30 and 11, you can do an art activity. You can cut with them. An art activity is not always just paint and paste and glue. So art activities can also be a range of things. Then between 11 and 11:20, some schools usually have it's got like lunch at that stage, but you can then do story with them. And then 11:20 till 11:45, you can do some music and movement. The energy will then be a bit higher, and then from 11:45 to 12, they can then do life skills. You can let them calm down. You can, so yeah, like I said, it depends on your school's program. So this is just an idea of the energy levels. But between 12:45 and 11:45 and 12, you can then do whatever you didn't do throughout the day. And then some schools, I know some schools leave at 1, and some schools are full day up until 5. So usually between 11:45 and 12, the kids will go down to sleep up until I think it's usually around 2 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken. And then from 2, that you've got your own set of other activities then. So yeah. Okay. Ooh, what happened? Can you see the screen, Shanae?
Yes, yes, the screen
Uh,
is visible.
okay. I don't, because it just went blank on my side. Okay, so this is just a matrix. So this is just to explain to you if we do my body for a week. So on Monday we will be looking at discuss the eyes, the nose, and the mouth with circle time or ring time. Then on literacy, we will look at our vocab cards. That would be our, if it's now a bit of a bigger age, maybe it's a smaller age, you can use visual cards, maybe images of a nose, maybe an image of an eye, image of a mouth. So it all depends on your age group. With numeracy, we can count the eyes, we can count the ears, we can count the fingers, we can count our friends' fingers. We can even look at our friends' ears and say, okay, I've got 4 friends in front. Quickly come and count all of the ears and see how many ears I've got together. It does not always need to be focused on your theme. Your literacy, numeracy, and gross motor skills does not always need to be theme focused. So that is a very important point that I want to make. It does not need to be theme focused. So for example, mine would say my body. Okay, then I'll say okay, discussion, sure, no problem, we can do the discussion. For literacy, we can do the vocabs, but I'm gonna add in here a story time. I'm gonna add in here because now I need to do literacy for half an hour. We can't focus on just cards for half an hour. So I would introduce some identifying of objects, making sentences regarding those objects. I'll maybe do a rhyme, maybe do a short poem. So that all depends on you. So it does not need to be theme focused. You can add extra. You are allowed to add extra things. Literacy is one of the areas where you can play the most because you can do story time and you can run that story over a week with your theme and your extra literacy work. So literacy, it's quite a nice thing. And then we're looking at numeracy. Like I said, you don't need to count the eyes, you don't need to count the ears. You can be counting from 1 to 10, identifying numbers, recognizing of numbers. You can add in there, we are measuring today, we are comparing, we are maybe problem solving, we are doing patterns. So it does not need to just be this. You can add and you can remove. Art, we can do a self-portrait. And then for gross motor skills, we can work on Simon Says. And then the same for Tuesday, same for Wednesday, same for Thursday, same for Friday. So Friday, you'll have an extra block here for rainy days. And then underneath it, you need to have a section where you say it self-reflects. So I saw with this group the pictures was too little. We went through the pictures too fast. So for next,
Sorry,
yes,
Leanne, I have a comment here from Norma. It's the ability to understand and work with numbers.
exactly. That's on the numeracy. That's correct. So by the end of the Friday, you can now say with confidence, this did not work, that did not work. This worked excellent. So I'm most definitely going to keep this for next year. I'm going to use this for next year. So for me, as a as a teacher as well, planning was not just for this week and then you throw it in the dustbin. I had a file. I actually had a file. Every file was in a theme form. So for this theme, it had everything. It had my whole week of numeracy, whole week of literacy, all of my pictures, my printing, my extra resources. Everything that I needed was in that file. So if we are doing that theme, I just pull out that file and everything is in there. Short notes in pencil, oh yes, I remember this didn't work last year. Let me do this year. So that's what's very important to self-reflect on a Friday. So when the kids leave on a Friday, you go through your plan, your weekly plan, and you will say, okay, I remember this didn't work. The obstacle course was a bit too difficult. Um, Comparing shoe sizes, the kids loved it. I'm going to make a note of it. I'm going to use it next year. Do we have any questions? Nothing. Okay. So we are looking at sensory. So sensory, we need to observe and we need to keep records. So I'm not going into it too much. So it's just basically we need to look at the child. We need to make notes. We can use anecdotal notes. We can do checklists. We can work with samples, and we can compare portfolios. The photos, taking photos of kids. Usually, some schools it's not allowed due to the POPI Act. So if you need to take photos, just get consent from the parents regarding that. Right, so we're looking at 10 golden rules. So this is just basically, if we can just, we're just quickly going to read through it. Plan around your, plan around a central theme. Includes developmental domains. So that was all of the domains that we mentioned on the previous slide, the 8 of them. Um, I understand if it's a special needs school, you can always improvise and change it for something else. Balance teacher-led and child-led activities. So it's not just the teacher that needs to lead the whole day. The child can lead an activity as well. You can have that strong child and you call that strong child and you will say, Tabo, come show, let's say, Leanne, come show her how to build a puzzle. And that child will lead that child at the end, and that child will be able to build a puzzle because they are working together. So integrating both indoor and outdoor activities, maintain flexible children interests, keep all activities age appropriate, play-based learning at all times, and then this is something that we mentioned now. The different ability levels. So your strong child versus your medium child versus your weaker child. Weaker, it's not really a word, but your weaker child, the one that's got maybe a learning disability or a language barrier. So you always need to make sure that everyone can understand what is happening in your class. So that's why it's very important to find a way that works for you. We can teach these things over and over and over, but at the end, it is you finding something that works for you, that works for your class. Because my class and Shanae's class, it's going to be two different classes. Even if it's the same age, it would be two different classes. I've got 30 kids, she's got 30 kids. It's 30 different personalities. So that's why we say we need to cater for everyone and then prepare all of your resources beforehand and reflect at the end of the week for your future plans. This is just basically like a wheel to say that one works with the other. So on Monday, I saw that I need to adjust my pace. My pace was too fast. The kids did not understand. Can be swapping resources. It can be adapting to new finds, the child's interest. The child's got something new. On Friday, we will then reflect what worked well, what was the challenges that we experienced, how did the child respond to that activity, what needs improvement. So
Sorry, Leanne.
yes.
Christine asked if you can please give an example of an ineffective resource.
So there's not really. So you mean ineffective like not working? Christine. Okay, so I think because okay, so I don't know really what you mean with that, but I'm going to try to answer it. There's not really resources that is ineffective or not working. So sometimes with a child, you will see, okay, this class or this group that I've got this year, they're a bit more advanced, so they can build a 24-piece puzzle very quickly. So I gave everyone 24 pieces. I put on a timer, and within, let's say, 15 minutes or 10 minutes, they were completed. All of them were completed with 24 pieces. So some of them were sitting and fighting, some of them were breaking the puzzles, some of them were bored, some of them threw the puzzles. Then you know, now it's time to swap my puzzle resources. So instead of doing a 24, I'm going to do, let's say, a 36 piece. Because then they know now a 36 piece is a like a new puzzle, and it's a bit more complicated to build than a 24. So it will take them a bit longer next time. I don't know if that's answering your question.
Yes, thanks, Leanne.
Do you have the link to our drive? I will quickly pull up the drive now. I see that we've got a few minutes. Then I will run the drive through while I've got everyone on the call. Then I can actually show you a few things. Then you can go and play around on the drive. And please WhatsApp me if there's anything else that you want to see on that drive, because I can only add that much. So if there's something that you need that I don't have, WhatsApp me and tell me we need ideas for this theme. We need ideas for numeracy. We need ideas for math. Then we can always add extra. So the drive is there to support the teachers. So this will be our last slide. So I'm just gonna read it. It's a weekly planner. It's a virtual tool, as it ensures organized, purposeful and developmental approach learning experiences. It supports the child holistic development, assists the teacher in an effective class management, and help create a safe, stimulating and inclusive learning environment where every child has the opportunity to grow and learn. So let's quickly do this. Um, then I'm quickly going to pull up the drive. Then I can actually show you the drive. I will share the link to the drive now on the group as well. Then you can just see how it looks. But like I said, if there's any other resources that you need, don't hesitate to WhatsApp me. I think everyone or most of the students got my personal number. So just message me on my number and say, hi, I don't see this on the drive. Can you please get it? Or can you please, over weekend, on a Friday night, on a Monday, I'm doing, let's say, farm animals. I don't have any resources. Then I will say, okay, on a Saturday morning, I'll quickly get all of the resources needed. Let me then put it on the drive over the weekend, and you can get it on a Monday morning.
Sorry, Leanne, should I share your number on the chats?
Yes, you can. You are more than welcome to do that.
Okay.
So, can you see my screen, Shanae?
Yes, I can. It's open on the drive.
So, this is the ECD resource drive that we've got. So, for literacy, for example, now, you don't need to go and look for pictures. You just go in here, you can read through this B and D, or B and D, but B and D. And there's more pictures to show you. This is a B, this is a D. It spells bed. So this is more for grade R. There's a coloring picture as well. So you can just go through it and see what would work for your class. This is one of my favorite things. I love this flashcards. It's easy flashcards like this. You cut it, you laminate it, you hand it out if you are doing phonics. Um, it's A for and, A for arm, or you say off. So, but you understand what I'm trying to say. So yeah, so just go through it. There's wall posters, there's printables, there's Letterland. Letterland would be Annie Apple, Benny, Bouncy Benny, I think. Clever Cat, Dippy Duck, that's the Letterland. There is beginning sounds, there's ending sounds. So you can just go through the drive. And like I said, if there's anything that you need, just WhatsApp and we can make it work for you. This is one of the new things that I recently add. It's a video to explain to you how to use these resources. So these resources is resources that I made. I like drew these pictures. It is the smallest, most simplest pictures you will ever get, but the kids loves it. They don't need fancy printable, colored, laminated, 10,000 rands materials. They need simple, small pictures, pictures that I can understand. By looking at this, I can see this girl is laughing, this boy is crying, this one's hair is all over, this one is cooking. So small pictures like this actually goes a long way. I just want to see this one quickly. This is also one of the pictures that I drew. So if you don't want to print it, you can actually just draw it with your hand. It's quite very simple, easy pictures. You can laminate it, cut it, laminate it, and hand it out. And you can tell them, um, throw everything on the ground and say, okay, class, two. So boys one side, girls one side. We take one boy, we take one girl. Please go look for me for everything that is color pink, and they will rush and they will get all of the pictures with the pink. Or if it's a bigger class, you can say go and find two pictures that start with the B sound. Or go find animals, go find the anything that's green, all the plants. So that it's it's a never ending activity for the kids. They will learn language, they will learn um, the like teamwork. So it is quite a big thing that you can like work together with the kids on it. You will see. Oh, sorry, I went out. So you will see there is where is it now? So there's literacy, numeracy, extra training material, printable books, special celebrations like Father's Day, Mother's Day, Easter, like anything that you need on your. I see Easter's not here, but Easter, there's cards, there's ideas. So it's quite a big drive with most of the materials. We try to get everything together for the teachers to make it a bit easier. So with life skills, I'm still working on life skills. So please drop your themes so I can help and see. So we can add all of the life skills here. So I've got farm animals inside my body, my senses, sport. I don't know what this one is here. But trace and write, it's not supposed to be there. I'll move it now. And transport. So if there's really anything, we can add it for you.
Sorry, Leanne, Norma left a comment here. Um, I think the black and white small pictures make teaching easy, unlike the colored ones that makes them focus more on the color than the drawing.
True, that's also true. Like I said, every class is not the same. I found with my last grade R class that I was teaching, color worked the best for me. They were more focused. They gave more. how can I put it? They concentrated a bit more if it was colorful. That way, with the color, you can also do color recognition with them. But like I said earlier on as well, what works for you doesn't always work for me, and what works for me doesn't always work for you. So you cater to your class. That's why you will see on the drive. Let's quickly go back. There is black and white. Actually, it doesn't have like it does not consist of any color. It is. Let me just quickly get it. No, it's here somewhere. It no, is it here? I think it's here. So there is some of the images that is you can color it. You can print it and you can color it if you want to, or you can use your phone, ChatGPT or whatever to put to add color for you. Just need to see actually where it is, but I know it's here somewhere. No, apparently it doesn't want to work now. So yeah, so it all depends on your class and the needs that you are catering for your class. So
Noma says, okay. Sorry for interrupting.
no, it's fine. Is there anyone else with questions regarding a planner? Do you want us to do a monthly planner or maybe a term planner for our next class? Or is there anything else that you would like to see in our classes? A theme planner, no problem. Queen, we've
Um,
got it like this.
Sorry, Leanne. Queen said a term planner.
Yes. Is it a term planner or a theme? But okay, let me not keep you up.
Queenie
I
said
hope
a term planner.
it's okay, no problem. I've got it like that. Thank you, Shanae. Let me not keep you up. You must enjoy the rest of your night, and I really hope there's something that you can use from our class from tonight. Thank you, Shanae.
Thank you.
Bye bye, everyone.
Bye. Mhm.
Bye, Leanne. Bye, Shaman. A lovely class.
Thank you. I hope you can use something of this.
No, definitely. Thank you very, very much.